destination, signifying the great relationship between our two countries. President Iohannis and I have just concluded very fruitful discussions where we have exchanged views on the current state of our relations and our path to the future in the light of the challenges that exist in our globe, but in the context of tremendous potential and opportunity that exists between us, our two countries, and Africa and Europe. We have taken note of the warm and cordial relations that exist between Kenya and Romania, whose inception in 1968 saw initiation of collaboration in diverse fields. We have in this regard reiterated the imperative to escalate our cooperation across all spheres of mutual interest, including political, social, and cultural and diplomatic domains. During our discussions, we have deliberated on a wide range of subjects across various areas of common interest: trade and investment, environment conservation and climate action, political and diplomatic dialogue, cooperation in ICT, agriculture, and of course, the people-to-people engagement, especially the discussions on peace and security, and the most important component we share of our belief in democracy. Accordingly, our discussion focused on strategies and interventions by which we can enhance trade and investment between our two countries. We've also shared ideas on new opportunities to improve the balance of trade and enhance investment between our two countries, leveraging on the expansive space created by the private sector and how we can leverage on the markets that we have in the East Africa. Set off the process of actualizing our common agenda in these areas, we also witnessed just now the signing of 4 memorandum of understanding: environment protection and climate change, cooperation on sanitary, veterinary and food safety, agricultural research and cooperation, and diplomatic institute and the Foreign Service Academy of Kenya. I am confident that the implementation of these MOUs will escalate the relations into an effective partnership in areas of focus and create conditions for Kenya and Romania to expand the scope of collaboration to cover even more sectors in the now and near future. During our discussions, I requested His Excellency the President to join me in advocating for climate action and calling upon developed nations to work with us. I have requested him directly to support the Nairobi Leaders' Declaration that positions Africa as a continent with opportunity, as a continent with renewable resources, mineral resources, human capital, and as a critical player in the development of the future of humanity. And our common position on matters climate. also have had an opportunity to discuss global peace and security and shared concerns on the continued conflicts and instability in our regions and other parts of the world. Consequently, we've agreed to play our rightful roles within the existing instruments in the community of nations to contribute to a more peaceful and secure world. Also appreciate that this is happening elsewhere in the world, in Russia, Ukraine, in Israel, Gaza, and that collectively we need to come together to resolve these conflicts so that we can have a much more peaceful and stable world that we can all pursue our aspirations as nations. Levels to promote and support the achievements of the Global Development Agenda, including the Sustainable Development Goals. It's my pleasure again, ladies and gentlemen,